Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Boros Control. So, I want to test out the Matchmaker on Arena because I think it's not bugged, it's a feature, right? But I think it's a rig feature. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers play their deck, and whenever they're running a Boros deck, they'll face up against Boros Convoke all the time. It doesn't matter what kind of Boros deck you're running, you'll face up against Boros Convoke. And when I feel like in the metagame is that, well, there probably is a lot of Boros Convoke for sure, but I think the matchmakers just like to give mirror matches. They see, oh, you're running a Boros deck, fight Boros Control. So instead, what I did is I found a Boros, or 5 Boros Convoke, I should say. So instead, what I did is I found a Boros Control deck online, and I made a little bit of fine tuning to it. You know, the one I found was best of 3, so I cut some sideboard cards out. Of course, there's no sideboard in best of 1, and there's no wish board, so there's nothing in the sideboard to require. Or to be required. And I changed some of the cards so that I made the deck a little bit sort of more, I don't want to say better, but more applicable in the best of 1 metagame, because I want to have temporary lockdown in the deck. I want to have 4 offs in almost every card to be more consistent. But what you see here is that I have 2 lockdown, 2 Sunfall, 2 Vanquish the Horde. There's a new tech against Boros in Vanquish the Horde. If they go wide, this is going to be a 2-drop that blows up their board, right? So that's kind of the idea of this deck. Let's talk about the entire deck itself, shall we? So we have, in the early game, we have 2 Get Lost to remove any creature or enchantment or planeswalker if we need. And then we also have 4 Lightning Helix. Sorry, 4 Get Lost, 4 Lightning Helix. 2 different 2-drops. 4 Lightning Helix, of course, deals damage and also gain life. Pretty useful against almost all kind of aggro decks. Then, in the 3-drop, we got Wedding Announcement. 4 Wedding Announcement, 2 Lockdown, and 1 Celestis. It's a control deck. Celestis is going to help us filter a little bit. Lockdowns almost solely against Boros, but you can also catch those Roots deck a little bit because they're all 2-drop or less. And then, of course, Wedding Announcement to get our board presence to kill our opponent with. And in a 4-drop, we got 4 Wandering Emperor and 4 Geological Appraiser, right? This card is so good it got banned in Explorer, so it's probably pretty good in Standard even still. So, Discover 3 can help us discover Celestis, Lockdown, Wedding Announcement. They're all kind of good. And then we have the Lockdown, if you discover it, you can decide not to cast it. That's a good thing about Discover. It's not Cascade, right? You can just code it in your hand and then just threaten your opponent with it. Then in the 5-drop, we got 2 Sunfall. Sunfall's great card, especially for a control deck. But I can't justify running 4 Sunfalls in this deck because it's a little bit slower against Boros. And then it's good against other go-wide strategies, but we have temporary lockdown against a lot of go-wide strategies. And we don't really need a token as much because we got a lot of other token generators. We have 4 Virtue of Loyalty, which is also a token generator, and also can double as a 2-drop. Just be careful with your Virtue and your temporary lockdown. You don't want to play this and then lock down the next turn unless you're gonna just save yourself from some damage or prevent yourself from dying. We also have 3 Quintorius Kand. Quintorius is great in Explorer. It's probably also great in Standard as well. You can use Quintorius to discover into Geological Appraiser, into discover into one of these cards. Deals a lot of damage and gain a lot of life that way. Pretty good card in that aspect. And then in the 6 and up, we have 1 Farewell and 2 Vanquish the Horde. I always want to have 1 Farewell in any control deck. A lot of decks don't. They just run more Sunfalls. But what I feel is that Farewell is going to be very good at catching enchantments. And more importantly, this deck will struggle to fight against artifacts. This can catch artifacts. You can see that our Get Lost targets everything but artifacts. So something to keep in mind. And then, of course, the land base, we're going to have 1 Eiganjo, 4 plains, 1 Sokenzan, 2 mountains. And the reason why we have so many basic lands is because we have 4 Field of Ruins. We have more plains and mountains because most of our cards are white. Just a little bit of splash in red. 3 Battlefield Forge, 3 Elegant Parlor, 3 Restless Bivouac, and then 4 Sundown Pass because it's a control deck. Now, if you're feeling kind of antsy about Field of Ruin, you can also just, I don't know, cut a Field of Ruin for more basic lands, cut a Field of Ruin for an Elegant Parlor. I don't recommend running more Restless Bivouac because you don't really want to attack with this card at all, so it doesn't really have that great of an effect. Other than if you're playing against control deck and they got nothing else to do. You can also replace Field of Ruin with Mirix, but the deck is not going to hinge on Mirix. It's really going to kill our opponent with, you know, a bunch of discover value. And basically, the idea of this deck is I'm trying to tech against Boros. Let's see if that works. Boros Convoke, that is. Let's go and try out that deck, shall we? The Boros Control. Alright, to show instant cards in the deck builder, type T:instant. They gotta get new hints. These hints are nothing. To avoid Boros, click the Matchmaker 3 times, and then wait 2 seconds and click it 3 more times, and then you won't play against Boros. Yeah, they should have a hint like that. Then everybody will read it. Momo Kado. Yeah, well, 2 lands, 2 Helix. The land won't give me a Helix. Can I keep this hand? Opponent goes first. I got a Virtue. I don't know. I need to draw a land, right? Any land will do because I have field. So I'm gonna try it. This is for science. All right. Well, any land will do, like I said. Okay. I guess we're playing. How much is this? 3. Shuffler's fine. I have no words. Blood Tithe Harvester. And the rope. He's thinking about the blood, or he's just roping because he's playing Rakdos. So the temporary lockdown will take both of those out, but I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm gonna Lightning Helix here. It looks weird, I know, but I'm gonna Lightning Helix here instead of Virtue, because instead I could have just played the Virtue, right? Okay, never mind. Everything gets scratched because I want to play the Wedding Announcement. So my idea was that I wanted to hold up Field of Ruin in case he wants to Restless Vent me, but there's more Temple, so it's better. Either way, the Lightning Helix is good, but you gotta use it for effects, otherwise it's pointless. Alright, he's got Yawgmoth. I have nothing to play, because I have no land. So I guess I'll just pass turn and then Helix the Yawgmoth. $25 lands in the deck, by the way, if I forgot to say it. 25 lands. Control deck, probably should run 26 to 27 lands to be safe on Arena, but I couldn't figure out what to cut, so here we are. Alright, well, I don't think Black-Red has protection, so I also have no lands. They also are, I don't know if they're missing a land, they could just be attacking first. What kind of protection can Black-Red have, right? Nothing. They have kill spells, and they have burn spells. They can burn their gig so that I don't gain life, but that basically is the same as them burning me because they're going to lose a spell, so no point in doing that. There's a stick, which means that they have no land, but they're thinking about blood. They didn't blood. That's interesting. I mean, Black-Red can't really catch me off guard, and I don't really need more creatures. I need to draw a land soon, or I'm going to cry. There we go. Land number 4 unlocks everything. Land number 5 basically is the whole deck, right? The only 6 drop we have is the Farewell. That's kind of scary. He's probably a Reanimator deck, to be fair. Oh, Appraiser, okay. You gotta cut down to 2/2. Yeah, the Appraiser is good. Appraiser is actually great for him, but it's also fine for me, right? So I can attack, he'll trade with the 3/3, kills his Appraiser. I can save the Appraiser with the Wandering Emperor. Should I do that? Gives him a free play on next turn, but I think it's fine.
You started this spot, but I have got new moves to
Gets my Emperor on the board. And he can attack me with the Restless Vent. It's not really doing much. You can attack Emperor, it's at 4. Restless Vent is a 2/3, I believe. And basically, I don't know if it's meant. Okay, it's Sure. I mean, you can do that play. I'm just gonna get a creature back.
May your blade strike true.
This is gonna be a slow game because I'm not drawing my lands, and our opponent is playing a very reactive deck, I believe. Probably Reanimator, Trumpeting Carnosaur. Alright, that's scary. Get out of Shieldred. It's also pretty scary. So what do we do here against Shieldred? Okay, I gotta kill the Shieldred, but I also gotta kill the Trumpeting Carnosaur, right? That's kind of difficult. So we'll get lost to Shieldred. That's the slightly scarier card. That's a lot of virtue with nothing to play on it. Well, they're both vigilance, but
Strike fast and strike hard.
see he blocks. He's not gonna block. Pretty obvious he's not gonna block. He blocks. Alright, well, kind of punish our opponent for their mistakes. First strike. Blocks the first strike too, so he loses his creature for nothing. And now I have just 3 virtues. I drew more virtues than I dropped flames. Another Carnosaur? Yep. A bat. Yeesh. Alright, well, I'm gonna play this in response. Takes my Wandering Emperor. Sure. I don't like it, but it is what it is, right? So if I draw a land next turn, do I Virtue or do I Quintorius? Quintorius can't actually do anything. I don't draw a land anyway, so that was a moot point. Let's spread this out a little.
Remember
Play
your
a
training.
land. Or I'll play a Celestus. They will know exactly what we have. No point in attacking, because this time he'll... we know he's going to block. So even though we did condition him not to block, I don't think there's a point to it. He should know our Quintorius is coming next turn. Which is just a discover. It's not the end of the world, right? Or a bat. Okay. Wow, you take the lockdown? There's like 0% chance I'm going to lock down on my own tokens. But okay. It's going to be a slow game, like I said. And I don't really have removal other than the Get Lost in the deck. Right? I've played 3 Helix, 1 Get Lost so far. The Trumpeting Carnosaur, if it attacks, it will die. So I don't think he's going to attack. Actually, he might. Or that. Our opponent's playing badly, to be fair, right? That was a terrible play. Now we can kill the Carnosaur with double blocks. We get rid of all of our creatures, but we got a Quintorius coming. I'm sure he has another removal, right? Because otherwise that would have been a... Oh, that was a dumb play. Why would you do that? Alright, save my Emperor for nothing. Okay. Quintorius discovers 4. I can't really stop the bats, but hey, you know, fine. Discover 4 into Discover 3. Point of the deck. Can I get a lockdown? Probably another wedding announcement. Maybe a Get Lost. I'm still playing on 4 lands, by the way. Yeah, a lockdown would have been great, but there's only 1 left in the deck, so I'm going to be extremely lucky to get it. No, I gotta Get Lost. Alright, we'll Get Lost the Deep Cavern Bats. Right? Well, which bat? Probably this bat. -1. He knows that I have an Emperor, but I have a lot more than one Emperor. So,
Keep watch for intruders.
well, I have an Emperor on board and 2 Emperor in my hand. That's a lot of Emperors. I also draw more Emperors than I drew Plains in the deck. Quintorius is great. He's got 2 mana. I wonder what he's gonna do. This deck, right, Rakdos, is basically getting hard punished for not being able to fight against enchantments. Our enchantment is overwhelming them, even though we don't have anything. And they're gonna use all of their map tokens this turn. So that's why I didn't get the temporary lockdown, because they're just gonna use up the maps. They can make the Cavern Bat bigger. That's a good card. Do you want to keep it? No, you don't want to keep it? I would keep it. I would keep it in attack with the Restless Vent so I can have it. There's a lot of Discover in their deck. Go for the throw. You want to keep that? He can attack my Emperor and kill it. He might think that that's a thing. Well, I mean, he does know that I have an Emperor, so that kind of makes no point. Alright, he's attacking the Quintorius. Then all that map was for nothing other than just hard draw? Yeah, I don't... Okay, GG. I'm at 34, by the way. That's a lot of life. I don't even know where the life came from. But hey, Rakdos cannot fight against enchantments. That's the biggest thing about Rakdos, that it used to be not an issue when they had Invoked Despair, but now the Despair has been invoked onto them by WotC, so I'm very proud of that statement. Now we're fighting against Zerathos. Zerathos? Go first, 3 lands, Helix, keep. Alright, I hope our opponent is not a control deck. Nah, black. Okay. And a Duress. Well, you see my hand, so good luck. There's a lot of Helix that you're going to discard. He's probably going to discard Get Lost if he knows what's good for him. Yep. It's a good player. Turn 1 Duress against a control deck. Yeah, that's kind of how... Well, to be fair, we did get to go first, so that's something. Now they got... this is not mono black, it's Orzhov. Interesting. Or Get Lost is back. Now, it's another struggle to get the 4th land. What if he plays Lily? Restoration. Jeez. Alright, that's really good for him. Very bad for me. Do I Get Lost a Restoration? Ugh. Get Lost a Restoration just so that he doesn't get the next value. It's a 3 mana ramp. Alright, do you react? Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys gonna surveil? Gonna play a wedding announcement. I gotta put a stop, I think. I think that's how it works. I will Lightning Helix this. Why? What if I Geological Appraiser into a Helix? Alright. Yeah. Alright, let's actually... We'll Parlor first. Don't want that. Not against this deck. I already have a Horde in my hand. So, now we Appraise. There's my wedding announcement. I knew it was going to be something like that. A temporary lockdown would also work because they got a lot of, you know, tokens. Alright, Orzhov. Orzhov can fight against enchantments, so that is interesting. Let's see what they want to do, though. Second wedding announcement. Okay. Ha! Alright, well, if I attack here, he's not going to block, right? That would be kind of dumb. Triple block. That would be kind of dumb. Well, sure. We'll trade 3 for 1. You sure you want to do that? That's not a... I'm at a loss for a word. That's a very, very bad play. Okay, get lost one of mine. I get the other one. Could have used map token there, but I'd rather hold up the Helix. Helix is good, but not great, right? And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. Oh, another duress. Okay. Well, you already see 2/3 of my hand. You want to take out Vanquish the Horde? It's not that good of a card. It does. Interesting. Where is this going? I put another stop here. We'll kill one of them. No, what a waste. Alright, well. That's a land. Play it. Restless Bivouac becomes a 2/2. He can kill it. I guess. Does he have stick though? Didn't feel like there's stick. I didn't feel like there's a stick. Resolve. That's a good card. Alright, now this becomes a 2/2. Now if I attack. Ooh, this is interesting. You know, I can pump my Restless Bivouac when I attack and I draw a card. I don't want to actually draw the card, so... Yeah, I don't want to draw the card because if he has another duress somehow, it's just going to take on my Quintorius. Put it in a top deck means that he cannot get me to discard it. Very important. And I have a temporary lockdown if he wants to go really, really wide. But this is definitely a tokens deck, so tokens deck with duress. Sure, map it. Map it out. He should know what's coming next turn, so I don't think he's gonna just randomly throw things. Okay. How if he wants to do that? To kill my wedding announcement? Do I want to Helix one of them? Might as well. I'm going to get a lot of cards next turn. Well, not a lot, but I'm going to get a free card this turn. We'll get lost that, and then we can attack. But get lost this. He gets map. Don't want to lock down my own creatures, so gotta be careful here. Yeah, I could not have Get Lost anything good there. Get Lost the wedding announcement, he can pump the 3/3. That would definitely not be good. Well, pump the 2/2. Path of Peril. Okay. Soren. Is he gonna make a vampire? He does make a vampire. That's kind of good for me.
You will serve me well.
So, if I do this, I cannot attack Soren, right? If I want to attack Soren, this costs 4 mana, which means I have 2 mana to play. And 2 mana can't do anything, so... Lock down on all your maps. Planeswalker battle. I thought I was going to fight control deck. Or I thought I was going to fight Boros deck instead of just slow, grindy control 2 games in a row. Yep. That's Matchmaker
Dire
trickery.
times call for dire tactics.
Very dire. Very dire indeed. Feels like he has stick. That's a wedding announcement stick. That's going to make a 3/3, which, I mean, I don't like it, but it will do. Quintorius is look like it's about to die. Rite of Oblivion on Quintorius. Well. Now it's only gonna make a 2/2. So if I double attack, I can't kill it. I have to triple attack. Gotta tap this land. Restless. Right? I don't want the 2/2 to attack because it will just trade for no reason. Trading for no reason I think is fine. What's his last card? He's gonna trade with the 3/2, right? It would be weird if he doesn't trade with the 3/2. Yep.
Excuse my sudden egress.
Alright, does he want to use Rite of Oblivion on something else now? The Rite of Oblivion can never get my Restless Bivouac, which is interesting. If he does it... No, I don't think he's going to do it. I was going to say, if he does it on a 2/2, he's going to lose his wedding announcement for no reason. If he doesn't do it, I get to attack him for free. I think he's thinking about it. But there's not really anything for him to do. Well, I don't know what that last card is. That is threatening. And my draw has been horrendous. None of my value cards came out other than one Quintorius and one Geological Appraiser. There's a lot more to that in the deck. Oh my god. That's your last card?
A whole legion of enemies. I love the challenge.
Oh, okay. That was not what I expected for the
You're
last
not
card,
safe
to be honest.
from me.
Gets a 2/2. Alright, do we Quintorius here? How good is Quintorius? We get a Discover 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't actually kill the Kaya even with a get lost, right? Because well, we have one more get lost in the deck. Temporary lockdown basically just locks ourselves out for no reason. If I do this and I attack, one will get through, so it will take 3. It'll go down to 5, and then I lose a whole turn. I don't know if that's worth it. But he has this, the Rite of Oblivion, and it will definitely just get whatever I play here. Oh, that's annoying. Not having lands hurts. He gets a lot of free draws, and I don't know how many turns it'll take me to kill Kaya, but a lot more than I like. Oh, it's a land at least. Okay, what is he gonna do? Make me scry? He's doing this wrong, but you know, I'll let him do what he wants. Man, Kaya's so good. I can't kill a Kaya in this deck. And that was his last card. That was a insanely good card. I thought it was just like another wedding announcement or something. Or maybe not a wedding announcement, maybe a virtue, maybe a boar wipe. But no. Oh no. This is gonna take a long time, huh? Our opponent's gonna really decide on whether or not he wants to write. What to do with his Kaya. Maybe he's trying to burn me. I don't think he's gonna try to burn me. Oh, okay. So he's gonna kill temporary lockdown.
First you, then your ghost.
I was thinking about that, but I don't know if that's a good play, because I guess it's not the worst. Quintorius can get me a card. Geological Appraiser can get me a card. But either way, I won't be able to use the field. Well, I won't be able to use the Restless Bivouac, even though it's a 4/4 when it attacks. Right? So, what can I do here to kill the Kaya? Probably nothing. Nothing I play can kill the Kaya. A Wandering Emperor is a good start, but honestly, like, nothing is being tapped here.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming. Let your blade do the talking.
So his creatures will have to attack to get rid of the planeswalkers I have. And if they do, then... Oh, he's scrying now.
Keep watch.
That's not a card I wanted. Yeah, I think that's game for us. I can't kill a Kaya, it's gonna get back up there. Attacks the Emperor. Attacks Quintorius. He's got 3 cards. I mean, like, that's just crazy.
See you later.
It was really because we were constricted on lands the whole game. If we had more lands, we would have played more spells. There would have been a different game. But hey, you know, it's the way the game goes. Wow. I feel like he has a removal, right? He's got to have a removal. Alright, that's just about the worst. I wonder though, does he have removal on the Bivouac? He does. Alright, that's GG. If he kills a Bivouac, there's no reason for me to play. Oh, he has a Field of Ruin. What am I saying? Didn't see that. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go. Too much advantage. Not enough cards on my side. So I guess we could not capitalize on the Matchmaker bug. It's not a bug, it's a feature. We cannot capitalize on the Matchmaker basically screwing up because our deck is too controlling. I do think that's because I've watched a lot of Boros decks play on YouTube. They are using more of a slightly aggressive shell. Not aggressive, but more tempo shell. This is very controlling, right? So when you run control cards, like Temporary Lockdown and Vanquish the Horror, basically you're going to have an anti-Boros matchup, as in your Matchmaker is not going to let you face against Boros. They love their little Boros decks. They're not going to help. They're not going to help you fight against them. Yep, that's all I can say. This is... I feel like that last game was a very big struggle because the deck has only card advantage in these 3 cards, right? The Quintorius, the Geological Appraiser, and the Celestis. We need to get those out to get card advantage. But the worst thing is that we're playing on like 5 or 6 lands for a very long time, and our opponent just had like 12 lands at the end of the game. So we're very short on mana values, so we could not capitalize on the cards being better. And unfortunately, even though our opponent is a deck that really can handle enchantments, they didn't have to. We just kind of slowed down into nothing. They have double duress on us too. That's really all I got. This deck is great. It's definitely fun. It's not the worst, but it does have bad matchups, and it also against control deck with counterspells. This will be a terrible matchup. But also, you got to draw well enough. It's still a fun deck to play. I would recommend it if you like Boros, but you don't want to play Convoke every game. So yeah, this is that deck. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.